G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So today's video is about team building for this new TEQ Goku and Vegeta that turn into Gogeta. You might have tried to have checked them out on the Dokkan linking partner website. Unfortunately, they're not up on that yet, so this did take a little bit of research finding who's going to work best with these guys. So if you want to throw a like down there, possibly sub up if you feel like it, to pay me for my researching, that'd be greatly appreciated. But nevertheless, let's start off with the first team that I would like to build around with this Gogeta, and that is a pure Saiyans team. So you've got two leader options. You've got the Namek Goku, the in LR, who is the best option, and if you haven't managed to pull him, you've got the STR. So with this Namek Goku, he does share 4 out of 7 links when Gogeta is in his tech base, or Goku and Vegeta, and when he does transform into the tech Gogeta, they do bump that up to 5 links. So very good rotation there, running them two together. But personally, I would probably use this guy on another rotation or as a floater, and I would run these two together. In base, they share 7 links together. They help operate with each other's transformations conditions. So if you fall below the 77 HP, you can transform with Vegeta, then you can pop that Gogeta transformation. They work extremely well together, and when you transform both of them, they do share 6 out of 7 links. So a crazy 1-2 punch in that regard. So that is another rotation option, because obviously you can run the Namek Goku. STR also works very well. He shares 5 links in, or it's either 5 or 6 links in base. So again, that works very, very nicely. If you haven't got a couple of these units, another great option is the physical Goku, the GT Goku. He shares 3 out of the 7 when Goku and Vegeta are in base, and then bumps that up to 4 when he does transform into Super Gogeta. You also got to add that he could be changing, or he will be changing rainbow type key spheres as well, so that'll make it a lot easier for you to get that 18 key super off if TEQ Gogeta doesn't transform the key spheres. And another option for a lot of players will be this AGL Gohan. He has the exact same link set as the Namek Goku, so you share the 4, and after the transformation you share the 5. A lot of people will have him rainbowed just because of how often he comes back on those main banners. And the last option I'd go through is with this Gogeta. So I believe he shares 4 links initially, and then once they transform, both of them are in the physical Gogeta, they do share the 7 links. So a perfect linking partner. Use the TEQ Gogeta in slot 1 and this guy in slot 2, and you're going to blast through content. So in regards to how I would actually properly build the team, you've got to put those two as a rotation. They're insane. Then I'd put the 2 GT units together. They're creating a lot of rainbow key spheres, and that's going to pass on to the next rotation to the Gogeta. And then I'd finish off with a support unit such as World Tournament Gohan is a great option, as well as this Trunks. He's quite outdated, but still a pretty solid support, and if you are floating him off, it's not the end of the world. You can certainly protect him. This guy is also a good option if you're doing a longer event, but I think for Super Saiyan there's definitely better units that you could use. But I'd fill that final slot with a supporter, and then here you have a number of heavy hitters, defensive utility. If you leave the 2 untransformed, and you're going to have 2 stackers in the friend and your own Namek Goku if you're using him or the STR. So that's the first team I wanted to look at. The second team I wanted to look at is pretty similar. You're going to be going with the pure Saiyans right there. The issue here on global is that we don't have a crazy good leader, so I'm just going to go with the physical transforming. Again, we'll go down and we'll select the Gogeta. You can obviously go straight back up and select that again, but that's a rotation we have already spoken about before. So what we could do is, the other option is this guy as your leader down here. They do share 3 links initially and then 4 once you transform into Gogeta. So if you prefer to run him instead of the transforming Vegeta, I certainly wouldn't blame you for that. But the good thing here is you do share 4 links with the AGL MUI. Obviously, still many regard as the top unit in the game, and if not, he's definitely top 2, 3. So that can be a very good rotation. Or if you did manage to pull the Super Saiyan Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta, that is also a pretty solid option because they share the they share 3 links, transformed and untransformed from Gogeta. So again, another really solid option there. But I still think you are best off running alongside these guys. Fill your other rotation of where is he gone now? There's something like that. And depending on the event, you could bring, say, a Namek Goku to have another orb changer. There's quite a bit of versatility in the Saiyan lineup. Just looking through in terms of supports, it's a little bit tougher with my box. I would probably fill it out with, like I said, a rainbow orb changer just to really utilize the extra key that you do get from TEQ Goku and Vegeta. And then by having this guy on rotation, off rotation, you're going to be getting those orbs filtered through to MUI and Evolution Blue Vegeta as well. So a really solid team. Once we do get Super Vegeta, Pure Saiyan is going to look insane. It's going to look so much better. So we'll jump ahead to the always ever present Kamehameha category. So I do have these guys only at 50%, 55%, and if you're not running a lot of Gotens with them, they're not the best leader. So it's always safe to go with the AGL Gohan. As I mentioned before, they do share 4 out of the 5 links, so you could certainly run that as a rotation if they are the units that you manage to have pulled, I guess. If we scroll up, you might have this STR UI. He's been out for a year and a bit now. He does share 3 out of 4 links initially with Goku and Vegeta, and then does share 4 links with Super Gogeta. So you could certainly run them as a rotation. He's still a crazy good unit. You've again got the ability to use Goku and Vegeta here. But a sort of a different option is you could use the 5th year anniversary units with him. The Gogeta does share 4 links initially with the Goku and Vegeta, and then 5 once you go blue and Super Gogeta. And then the TEQ Vegeta counterpart shares 3 and then 5 in the same scenario. So those two are still very good options in terms of linking partners. Personally, I prefer to run those two together, so they wouldn't be my first choice, but it does depend a lot on what you have available. A really good unit that you could use in slot 2 is this Int Gohan. So he does actually share 4 links with the Gogeta and 4 with the Goku and Vegeta, and then 5 with the Super Gogeta. The reason why I brought this guy up, I know a lot of people have really ragged on him, but combining the orb changing with Super Gogeta along with this guy's key mechanic, you're going to be getting 24 key supers with both characters extremely regularly. So I think that is quite a potent 1-2 punch. But as per, your main guy is going to be him, and then you're just chopping and changing as to who you think you want. It is really up to you. As I mentioned before, this guy he's good everywhere. Definitely a solid choice. You've got the Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. He does share 2 links with Goku and Vegeta in base, which isn't that great. But after you do transform, they do bump that up to 4 links. So he's also another really solid partner. But for Kamehameha, again, the team's going to look pretty similar. I'm going to go something like that. And then for the other two, I guess you could go, probably wouldn't use STR UI because I got a lot more value out of my 90%, something like that. And support such as this guy, he's a really good support unit, or you could change that out to bring an orb changer like the Goku, as I mentioned before. A lot of really good options in Kamehameha. So the final category that I'm going to look at is the Gogeta's category himself, which is the time limit and connected hope. We'll change that to partial. So obviously Gogeta is the leader here. Not much you can do otherwise. I don't have the Go tanks, so unfortunately I can't bring him into the fold here. The fortunate thing here is that you are able to use Freezer. He's really going to be a go-to for any long events, and that is the same with Boo tanks. However, there's not a great deal of big bag bosses units in this, so this guy, when he gets transforms into Buhan, probably your best option. As you can see, I got into 10 with big bad bosses there, but what we do have is the two 5th year fusions that I spoke about before, so they could be a 1-2 punch on another rotation. You could line this guy up next to the physical Gogeta, as I mentioned before. We do get those 4 links, and then we get the 7 as we go into physical Gogeta. So obviously a really good option. Tough to bring in supports here because I personally don't have the Go 10, as I mentioned, but an orb changer such as the Angel Super Saiyan 2 Goku could be a really good option. As we know, orb changes really help to boost the efficiency of teams here. He does share 2 links in both the Goku and Vegeta base and Gogeta. And the same goes with Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku with his orb changing. Probably an underrated option that you could select to bring into this team is Super Gogeta. After his Easy A, he is phenomenal. He's relatively good in longer events because he does stack that defense for 1 turn, and he lowers attack and defense, so he's also really good for events like SBR that are quite a bit shorter. So he does share 5 out of 7 links with Gogeta once he does transform. So plenty of good options here. I would probably go something along the lines, I think, of the 2 5th years on rotation, the 2 Gogetas on rotation, and then maybe bring an orb change, a stunner like that, and then depending on if we're in SBR or whatnot, maybe bringing someone like the Int Gogeta for longer events, as I mentioned, maybe those 2, and you run that as a rotation, keeping those 2 extreme class units together. But for the sake of this, I'm going to just go an all super team, and we're going to look something along the lines of that. So hopefully this has helped you guys into getting some type of idea as to what type of team you want to build around Gogeta, and hopefully the video has helped you do that. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you want to keep up with the content, I do new videos for every unit that comes out. So if you want to keep up with that, hit the big sub button, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next one.